managing the chaos. The chaos is always around. It's 2 steps from your reality. It's always 2 steps. And when we don't become conscious and recognize that the chaos is all around us, all around us. 2 steps can put us knee deep in the chaos. So before we make the first step, we must observe that chaos does exist. On the first step, we manage the chaos. Because the second step is the pivot point from decency and chaos. You have to make that decision. But you must first be conscious that the chaos is all around us, and it will consume you in one form or fashion. But when you're conscious of it and accept that chaos is a part of the grand scheme of things, you need to understand how to manage the chaos within. Because it really doesn't matter what's going on outside in society. It really doesn't. You can stay in the most so-called quaint neighborhood. Not much goes on, but the occasional argument about, hey guy, my grass looks better than yours. Dumb shit that people do in society. Competing over whose grass look fucking better. And ain't none of them niggas eating it. So why they putting so much effort into it? You figure if most niggas put as much effort into a garden as they do their fucking grass that they don't fucking eat, wouldn't that solve a lot of problems around here? Scarcity issues, food shortage issues. It's hard times out there, motherfucker. You can't think outside the box because we just came out of a system where they had these dumb-ass fucking homeowner associations with their fucked up rules and say you can't grow your fucking food. That's another level of control, ain't it? You want to live in this bitch-ass neighborhood with all these fucking rules that you won't counteract. It's just a guide. A guide. But you motherfuckers freely accept the bullshit when you move into these bitch-ass neighborhoods. No community, no connection. It's a bunch of motherfuckers in their material boxes that's filled with material things, and every one of their goddamn hearts are empty. That ain't no fucking community. That is the chaos that hides within. Your materialisms, your wants, your needs, your fucking desires make you into a selfless motherfucker with no compassion. Made you into a purchasing beast. Motherfuckers say the mark of the beast. It's your fucking ignorance, nigga. You ain't got no fucking heart in it, you see? No discipline. No connection to the past. You don't know who you are, where you come from. So how will you ever be anything more than just a piece of shit? It's a shame. But these are decisions that we all must come to some point in our life to ask the question, is the life I'm living good enough for me? Yeah, that's all it comes down to. Is if this shit that you fucking doing is good enough for you or not. Not everybody else. And if you're trying to bend your will and cater to motherfuckers, you're making it's a recipe for disappointment within, resentment within. You'll grow to hate the motherfuckers that you end up calling too. And then you in turn hate yourself even more for allowing yourself to be played a fucking fool. Trying to please somebody else. That's just plain stupid. We got to understand reality is something that needs to be embraced. The experience of life, the bright, energetic mind that you was born with has been distorted by your wants, your needs, and your desires. You know, the way they train the children to get hooked on this materialism shit. Tell them about a fucking Santa Claus, fairies and shit. Tooth fairy. Hocus pocus shit, nigga. And then when they grow up and realize that that's some bullshit, they already hooked on the material shit. Their wants, their needs, and their desires. It will corrupt you. It will. Because it corrupted me. I didn't have a fucking chance. First time that somebody offered me something a little bit more that I can go and get. But guess what? I went for it. Went against my own best judgment on a lot of things. Because I was fulfilling my wants, my needs, and my desires without true focus. And always starting over to make it back to a point. But it wasn't never enough. Never found happiness in those things, those places. Never could build a relationship that was everlasting. Wasn't meant to be. I was fulfilling my wants, my needs, and my desires. Doesn't mean my heart wasn't in the game. It just means that there are complexities in the grand scheme of life. I had to go through my experience to bring me to this point. That we all must dig a little deeper to obtain pure decency within. It ain't about, you know, everybody got different levels of decency. There's no universal decency, nigga. And somebody decency may be a little bit of bad with a little bit of good. Somebody else decency may be all good. Somebody else's other decency may be like, your decency is in the chaos. And I walk between the lines. These are choices that we all gotta make. Is this experience the one that I've truly dreamed and desired to have? So many times we in society, we get hooked up on our routines. Sometimes we Our different experiences. Let's go ahead and say it. Sometimes our experiences let us down. We stop believing in ourselves. Start to doubt our thoughts. So much so that we start to value other people's fucking opinion more than our own fucking thoughts. And that's some bullshit right there. Can't nobody win without this self in the game of life. This is your life to live, people. It's yours. Do as you see fit. And don't you let no bitch ass motherfucker behind no pew, no goddamn church, tell you something that isn't proper for you. Because the only person that knows what's proper for you is you. And you need to stop allowing yourself to be brainwashed by these weak son of a bitches. I'm telling it to you straight, niggas. And I can speak for my grandmama, Helen, my mama's mama. She lived life how she seemed fit. She told it how it was, and she was okay with it. Circumstances could have been this way or another way. But she wasn't afraid to tell it how it was. Nope. My Uncle Terry, he wasn't afraid to live his fucking life, man. And you motherfuckers never gave him the compassion and love that he really needed. Just marginalized him and considered him a drunk nigga and fed him a goddamn beer when he know he needed to be off that shit, nigga. He died a couple years ago. He was only 80-some pounds. 80-some pounds in the end. Wow. Alcohol is a appetite suppressant. The hops they use to make the beer is an appetite suppressant. So if you ever wonder why you don't have a big appetite when you go get them fucking beers, niggas, because it's an appetite suppressant. The hops. And if you're not conscious of that, you may just end up wasting yourself away, nigga, by your wants and your needs and your desires. And that's why we need to be around people that actually give a fuck about us. Somebody that can tell us fucking straight and not just say, hey, nigga, have a fucking drink. Because I can be honest, I had a nigga do that shit to me one time. Wanted to sit me down and try to say I needed a fucking drink. Nigga, you offer me a fucking drink, you take the hell that comes with it. And I just got tired of hearing that nigga's fucking mouth. You know what I'm saying? And at that point, I was ready to kill that nigga. I wasn't going to stop burying my blade in that son of a bitch until he was no more. We got to understand the animal instinct within us. And when we allow ourselves to do the things that are not in our best interest, we will snap. So we got to be honest about ourselves. We got to know our full capacity and not take shit from nobody. You know when to stand alone. And leave these bitch ass niggas alone before you end up dealing with the chaos.